There comes a moment in the life of every single one of us. A moment no one expects, changing everything in the blink of an eye. This moment might come when the phone rings at 3 o'clock in the morning, or when you open an email and feel your hands begin to tremble, or when you suddenly realize that everything you built with your own hands throughout your entire life has vanished. In that moment, you feel that you are alone, completely alone in a different kind of way. No money, no backup plan, and no safety net. The bank has closed its doors in your face, the job no longer exists, and the people you thought were your friends have completely disappeared. Your wife looks at you with anxiety filling her eyes, and your children innocently ask, "Dad, why are we leaving our home? Where are we going?" And you have no answer. You have absolutely no answer at all. This is not a fairy tale spun from imagination. This is a very real reality happening right now to real people, to good people who worked hard all their lives and did everything the right way. Yet, for no apparent reason, they lost everything. But in that dark moment, there is something you do not know. Something no one tells you when you sit in the darkness, wondering if there is any reason to keep going. There is a power, a very ancient power. A power that has saved countless souls when all human doors were shut before them. A power that turned complete despair into miracles. A power called Tawakkul upon Allah. Tawakkul means complete reliance and sincere certainty in Allah. True submission to the Creator of the universe. Delegating the entire matter to Him. And deep trust in His infinite wisdom. This is not just a simple belief or a superficial kind of hope. This is something much deeper. This is the defining moment when you stop fighting with all your weak human strength and let Allah fight for you. And this is our story today. Not just one story, but multiple stories of ordinary people who lived extraordinary moments of Allah's mercy and grace when they were sincere in their trust. Let me tell you first about Mahmud. Mahmud was a very ordinary man. He did not aspire to change the world. All he wanted was a decent and simple life where he could provide food, shelter, and safety for his family. Mahmud owned a small clothing shop. A modest store, but it generated a steady income that covered his home. He worked there every day from dawn to dusk with hard work and fatigue, but he was proud of his work. He had a family, a kind and patient wife, and 4 children whom he loved more than his own life. Mahmud, like all fathers, dreamed of a bright future for them, wanting to see them successful and righteous. For many years, everything seemed to be going the right way. The shop was doing well, the children were in their schools, and the home was clean and safe. Life was peaceful in every sense of the word. But the unexpected moment came. Mahmud had a business partner, a man he had known for many years and trusted blindly. They worked together and shared profits and losses like brothers. But this partner betrayed the trust and broke the friendship. He began taking money from the shop's safe repeatedly over months, stealing massive amounts of money. Then one day, he completely disappeared. And Mahmud's difficult journey began. The courts initiated legal cases, but Mahmud first had to prove his innocence from the accumulated debts, and he had to hire an expensive lawyer. Bills and obligations began to pile up by the thousands, and after a few months, Mahmud found himself indebted with amounts far beyond his capacity. He failed to pay the rent for the shop, so it was closed, and he could barely find what to feed his family with. What hurt Mahmud the most were the looks from his children who felt the change. His eldest son said to him one day, "Dad, why do you look sad and worried every day?" Mahmud found no answer. He wanted to lie and say, "I am fine, my son, just tired." But children sense sadness in their parents' eyes. And his wife began to ask him anxiously, "What are we going to do? What is our next step?" And he did not own any answer. Mahmud began to flee from the reality of the house, going out claiming he was going to work. But he was sitting alone in his car in a dark and distant street, thinking about the debts, about his children, and about his parents whom he used to help financially and was no longer able to do so. Dark thoughts began to haunt him from the severity of the distress and despair. Before surrendering to those thoughts, he sat for a moment and remembered his kind mother, remembering her words when she used to always say to him, "Oh Mahmud, when the world tightens around you and you feel that you are alone, remember that Allah is close to you, very close." Mahmud turned around and got out of his car into the empty street on that dark and cold night. He stood there, a completely broken man. Then he bowed and prostrated on the ground. He prostrated in the street under the sky and wept with a burning heart, like he had never wept before, and said from the depths of his heart, "O Lord, I do not own anything. I have no strength, no plan, and no money. But I found only one thing remaining in my heart: my faith that you are close to me, and my certainty that you do not waste your servants. O Lord, I have completely submitted to you and delegated my matter to you." In that prostration, Mahmud felt something strange. The problems did not vanish suddenly, and money did not fall upon him from the sky. But one thing changed. Fear was cut from his heart, and an amazing tranquility took its place. He returned to his home, apologized to his wife for his absence and weakness, and promised her that he would be brave with them, no matter the circumstances. The next day, he began searching for any honest work and found a hard job in a factory with a very small salary. But he was content. In every prayer, he would prostrate and say, "O Lord, I am doing my best, and the result is in your hand alone." Months passed, and the debts began to decrease very slowly. After a whole year of patience and courts, the police found the treacherous partner who confessed to the theft, and the court returned a large part of Mahmud's money. His shop returned, and his life returned better than it was. But Mahmud himself changed. He told me once, "When I was trying to control everything by myself, anxiety almost killed me. But now I work and leave the rest to Allah, and I have never been happier and more reassured than now." The second story takes us to another place, to the story of Maryam. Maryam was a mother and a grandmother, a woman who spent her life raising her children after her husband passed away while she was at a young age. She struggled and worked in sewing for years until her children grew up and got married, and her life stabilized. But life does not remain pure for anyone. Her youngest daughter was diagnosed with a rare and dangerous disease that required immediate treatment and surgical operations outside the country, costing astronomical amounts that her simple family could not provide, even if they worked all their lives. The children knocked on every door, contacting charitable societies and hospitals, But the responses always came with apologies or with postponement for long months, and her daughter's condition was deteriorating day after day. The children entered a state of frustration and despair and began talking in front of Mariam in the language of helplessness and tears. But Mariam, that woman whom experiences had refined and faith had filled her heart, looked at them and said with a strange firmness, "O my children, the doctors, societies and hospitals are merely means, but we have forgotten the causer of causes. Humans have closed their doors, but the door of the King of Kings never closes. From this night, we will leave our entire matter to Allah, and we will rely on Him with true reliance." Mariam decided to start a spiritual program in her home. She would wake all her children an hour before dawn, so they would pray the night prayer. Then they would all sit invoking forgiveness, supplicating, and sending blessings upon the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, with one pure intention: "O Lord, the means of the earth have been cut from us, and our hearts have attached to the means of heaven. We have delegated our daughter's matter to you and relied upon you." 3 weeks passed and the situation remained the same. In fact, the illness was intensifying, but Mariam's certainty and trust were increasing in firmness. One day, while Mariam was persisting in her seeking of forgiveness and supplication, a stranger called her eldest son. This person was a businessman living in another country. He said to him, "I saw an old post that you had written 2 months ago on one of the social media sites about your sister's condition, and I do not know why I woke up today with an overwhelming desire in my heart to help you." The businessman took care of all the expenses of travel and treatment in the finest international hospitals, and even sent a private medical plane to transport the girl because her condition was critical. The operation was performed with resounding success, and the daughter returned to her home safe and healed amid the astonishment of the doctors who thought her condition was hopeless. Mariam says while smiling with tears of joy in her eyes, "Tawakkul is not just a word said by the tongue. Tawakkul is to throw all your weight and worries upon Allah, while you are completely certain that He will carry you and protect your livelihood and health. And when Allah sees this truth in your heart, He subjects the earth and whoever is upon it to serve you. Finally, remember that Tawakkul is the heart's certainty that Allah's relief is coming. Trust Him. Do your best, for Allah always sufficient for you."